Hey guys, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman, and it's time for your dose of some fragrance content. Today's video is going to be about two fragrances from a Middle Eastern brand that I've generally had pretty good experience with. The brand is called Arabiyat Prestige, and usually they offer very nice quality, they offer good performance and scents that smell very similar to famous original designer and niche fragrances. But unfortunately, my two latest pickups from the brand turned out to be rather disappointing. They are called Lutfah Light in the Heart and Habib. And in today's video I'm going to tell you why I felt somewhat disappointed by both of them. I'll start by talking about this orange one, which is called Lutfah Light in the Heart. A very quick look at the packaging and the presentation. It actually is part of a series that's called Lutfah. All of them bottle-wise look exactly the same. The box design is also pretty similar. This is how you open up the bottle. It's a thick cardboard box that feels of nice quality. Dark orange color with some golden accents and a little bit of black color as well. The important things here, the bottle size is 80 milliliters and the concentration is EDP. And then this is how the bottle looks. As I said, this is part of the line that's called Lutfah, and all have this very same shape but come in different colors. The cap is plastic, but it's a nice snug fit, and it also comes equipped with a pressurized sprayer, something that you'll find in a lot of the fragrances from this brand, something that I actually appreciate a lot. Again, let's use a few sprays on a tester strip. I'm wearing something else, so that's why I'm not going to spray it on skin. Also, excuse me for my rugged voice, but I've been feeling a little bit under the weather in the past few days, so I'm sorry about that. And now let's talk about the scent of Lutfah Light in the Heart. Now, this fragrance was presented to me as being a clone of Parfum de Marly's Altair. And the main reason why I felt disappointed about this fragrance is because it doesn't smell that similar to to Altair. Yes, it shares some of the same notes. Yes, it sort of comes in the same sort of general direction as the original fragrance from Parfums de Marly, but it's scent-wise it's not super close, and that's the main reason why I've been disappointed by Lutfah Light in the Heart. Now, just like Altair, this has the notes of vanilla, of cinnamon, it has some of the woody notes of the original fragrance, the ambroxan, but what this fragrance misses mainly is that orange blossom note that you'll find with the original fragrance and all the good clones of Altair, which add a bit of a floral touch, but also add a bit of how to call it, an aromatic nature to the original fragrance. Just sort of an tries to, that orange blossom note tries to battle out or balance out a little bit of the sweetness of the original scent, and that orange blossom note is missing with Lutfah Light in the Heart. And just this overall, especially in the opening, feels a lot sweeter and a lot sort of thicker and slightly darker than the original fragrance. I personally also pick up a hint of booziness in the opening of this one, and maybe a bit of some additional fruity sweetness, maybe something like a pineapple note or something like that, which on its own also changes the scent of this one compared to the original fragrance. So it doesn't feel very close, it doesn't feel as fresh and as aromatic in the opening as the original fragrance. This feels sweeter, it feels darker, it just feels thicker. Then on the dry down, what happens is this becomes a little bit sweeter, it becomes more woody, and in fact it becomes woodier than the original scent as well. And overall, this is, I just cannot call this one a clone of Altair. I can call it an inspiration or something that feels distantly similar to the original fragrance. When it comes to the performance, this actually is a good performing scent. I've been easily getting at least 8 hours of performance out of it. Also, especially initially in the first maybe about 1 hour, this also projects quite strongly. Then gradually this will start to sit closer to the skin, but as a whole, in the first about 2 hours, this actually is pretty strong when it comes to projection, and overall longevity on my skin has been at least 8 hours. So performance wise, I have no issues with the Lutfah Light in the Heart. it's a good performing scent. Price wise, I think it goes for somewhere between 35 to 40 euros, so around about 40-45 dollars. So in general, things from Arabiyat Prestige, fragrances from Arabiyat Prestige, tend to be a little bit more expensive. Usually, as with this one, you're getting good quality, you're getting good performance. But in this case, personally, I would say that this comes close to price-wise to things like Liquid Brune, and I just find overall Liquid Brune to be the better fragrance because it smells closer to the original fragrance. And versatility-wise, it's as versatile as the original scent, meaning that this is a cold weather fragrance. You know, it's sweet and thick and slightly dark, so I just cannot see anyone wearing this one in warm weather. And definitely it's more of a nighttime fragrance. And also I find this one to be a little bit more masculine than Altair itself. And now let's move on to the other one. That's called simply Habib. It comes in this blue colored bottle and blue box. Again, a very nice, very interesting presentation. The box is, again, very thick cardboard box, quite heavy, comes in blue color with some silver and black accents. The important things here, bottle size is 100 milliliters in this case, and again, you're getting an EDP concentration. In order to get to the bottle, you need to slide those two side parts like this, and once you do, you pull this sort of an, I don't know, thingy here, and inside is where the bottle actually lies. So it's a very interesting presentation. I kind of like it. And then this is how the bottle looks. It has an interesting shape and also has this sort of a velvety finish on it, which adds a bit of a luxurious touch in my opinion. The cap is plastic, feels light and kind of cheap, but again, at least it's a snug fit. The sprayer, again, it's pressurized, something that I really like a lot when it comes to Arabiyat Prestige. Let's again waste a few sprays so I can talk about the scent itself. This one is a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. And the disappointing part here does not lie so much with the scent profile, because actually this smells quite a lot like Le Male Elixir, although it has a few minor differences. Those minor differences actually are in the beginning, in the opening of the fragrance. Now, even though Le Male Elixir is a very sweet fragrance, this one feels even sweeter, because Le Male Elixir has a bit of mint and a bit of lavender in the opening, which just balance out a little bit that thick sweetness from the honey and the vanilla and the tonka bean that you'll find with the original fragrance. And I really don't find those notes in here with Habib. Especially the mint. Maybe there's a bit of the lavender, but the mint is missing, and it just feels a little bit sweeter in the opening, not as fresh, not as diffusive as the original fragrance. Here is where the main difference with this one lies compared to Le Male Elixir in the opening. The dry down, just like Elixir, Le Male Elixir becomes sweeter, it becomes a little bit darker, a little bit you know, thicker, but this one also, at least supposedly, officially, doesn't have the note of tobacco that you'll find with Le Male Elixir, and I can confirm that. I can't say that I pick up a tobacco note. You know, the guys from Arabiyat Prestige have added, I think, a bit of a fruity sweetness in here. Now, the overall composition, the way that those notes are blended, you know, the vanilla, the tonka bean, the ambers, a bit of that fruity sweetness, in the air they come across almost the same as the tobacco, honey and vanilla mix that you'll find with the original one, but definitely this feels a little bit different. So this again doesn't feel like a straight up clone, it feels more like an inspiration, more like a twist, but definitely Habib smells closer to Le Male Elixir than Lutfah Light in the Heart smells, you know, compared to Altair. So scent wise this feels close, but it's more like a twist. It's slightly less fresh, slightly less aromatic in the opening, and lacks the tobacco note on the dry down, but in the air this actually smells pretty similar to Le Male Elixir. When it comes to performance, now here is where the disappointment for me, I found disappointment with this fragrance, and that's because this just does not last that long on my skin. Now, I have quite a few good clones of Le Male Elixir at this point in time, and all of them last at least 7-8 hours, some of them even longer, like for example Club de Nuit Lionheart over there. And Habib from Arabiyat Prestige has been giving me around about 7 hours of performance. Also, it's just is not one of those fragrances that will project very loudly. Projection is more on the moderate side in my personal experience, so that's why I've been a little bit disappointed by Habib. Price wise, this is a little bit cheaper. I think it costs around about 32, 33 euros, so around about 35, $36 in the US. At that price point, it's actually not a bad deal, considering that at least in my country, something like Club de Nuit Lionheart usually costs around about the same. But again, having that one that smells closer to the original fragrance and performs better, it's just hard for me to recommend Habib. But again, on its own, this is not a bad fragrance. It has good quality, as you saw, has pressurized spray, smells quite similar to the original fragrance, just does not perform that well. And versatility wise, this is as versatile as the original, meaning it's a masculine fragrance that's sweet, that's great for cold weather, and especially good for nighttime. I hope that you found today's video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.